Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahawah. Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Qadash, double honor, son to the elder apostles at great milestone for the teachings of the scriptures amongst other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, this is a video about an, certain type of viruses that they actually create in order just to specifically kill our people. That's why when you go to these Edomite neighborhoods and you buy their food and their groceries and stuff like that, their vegetables and their fruit, of course, yeah, it tastes different. It tastes better, you could say. Because me and the brother, we went to Germany and we ate there on the street, of course. Normally we don't do that. And we do it here just really if it's really 100% necessary. But we're in a different country. We can't just go make food ourselves. So we bought the food. We bought little breads with chicken and stuff like that. And I think fish too, but we ate. It was a while ago. We ate the fish, and it tasted great. Now, and I thought to myself, like, damn, this food here in Germany, and it was just a street vendor, and it tasted great. The bread tasted better. The meat tasted better. The vegetables tasted better. The fish. So we knew that when you go to their places, where the majority of where they are in the majority, those stores are better, they're cheaper and stuff like that. So this is the Netflix series of Supergirl. Yeah, I know it's kind of stupid me watching it, but I do see some things, and she's working with the DEO and FBI and all those type of thing, cops, and so they throw a little bit bones. They throw a few bones up in there. Well, a few meat, a little bit of meat, but you got to pick the bones too. You know what I'm saying? So deep things and stuff like that. But this was easy, and it's talking about making diseases. So she said, "What is Project Medusa, right?" And this is season 2, episode 8, right? By the way, I just saw it. I'm looking at it right now, so that's why I thought I'm gonna make a video right now. And he said, "Okay, Medusa. A weaponized virus that I created for the defense of the planet Krypton." Wait, a virus you created? It was a joint partnership between the science and military guilds. This is exactly what they're doing here in the normal world. They always put their own things in these superhero series. That's why if you really analyze that shit, that I hate watching, while watching these things, because I see the racism that they actually put up in these cartoons and these series and these movies where you have superpowers, and then you have normal people, and then the normal people, once they get the superpowers artificially and enhanced by robots and stuff like that, the first thing that they trying to do is trying to kill the original mutants, the original aliens, the original superheroes or whatever you call them, the people with superpowers. And the whole movie, the whole series, everything that you watch, you can see the pre-hatred that these people have for these entities with superpowers. Those are basically the Israelites, man. Then a lot of them are so intimidated and so just hurt that they don't want to have that superpower. That's why when you look at X-Men, back in the days when I was looking at X-Men, the cartoon, I always asked myself, why wouldn't you want to have superpowers, man? What's wrong with y'all? Now I understand. It's they're trying to run away from the stigma of being an Israelite, being so-called black, being so-called native and stuff like that. They're trying to get away from it. They're trying to look more and be more like the Edomite, because then they figure they would get less targeted and less racism would be thrown against them, right? So these are the things that they put in their movies. And if you think I'm faking it, like, oh, he's watching movies for information, right? So it says here, 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, he has a lot of devices, a lot of ways to basically trick you up. And we know that this is the truth because it says here, here, right? CIA works with Hollywood. Ever since its inception in 1947, the CIA has been covertly working with Hollywood. But it wasn't until the mid 1990s that the agency formally hired an entertainment industry liaison. Check out the word liaison. Is basically how you call that thing? Bind together. Communication or cooperation, right? Liaisons.
Liaison.
Right. It's a cooperation. Entertainment industry liaisons and began openly courting favorable treatment in films and television. And don't forget games and what else? Music. Yeah, of course, music. So back to this over here. So it says it was a joint partnership between the science and military guilds. And what is CIA known for? Basically, they're coming to get you with like military type tactics, but only they have like regular clothing on, or a suit and tie. And then they work basically the science means knowledge, but they use the science of the film world, the knowledge of the film world in order to produce all these type of things to make you get brainwashed, because this is a series that was actually created and geared towards female to make them feel empowerment and stuff like that. But then you see the stupidity that they put up in it by making them female characters kind of manly. That shows you that they still emulate men, but you're a female, right? Anyway, you got sodomites up in there, of course, female sodomites, of course. And the first thing that they do is they imitate men, like the tough guy shit. But I thought you didn't like men, so that shows you that they're backwards, man. They're backwards because it makes no sense. If you're trying to exclude men from your little show, why are you making the females act like men? Some of them act like men, and some, tough guy shit, and some of them just are normal. But those ones are the victims of those basically strap-on dildo females. The reason I call them a victim is they're the ones getting picked. Right. So he said, we bioengineered the virus to attack non-Kryptonian physiology. Basically, non-kryptonite DNA. So basically, you could then say they engineered a virus that would attack non-Edomite, non-so-called Caucasian structure, DNA. In the event of an invasion, Medusa could be deployed to kill alien combatants, meaning everybody else except Edomites, right? While keeping our Edomite civilians, and infrastructure safe from harm. So now she says, growing up, you always told me your work was to save lives. I was saving Edomite lives. That's what he's actually doing. What he's saying, actually. Not saying that the Kryptonians are Edomites, because they're actually Israelites. But I gotta explain it in this way, because I actually know what I'm looking at. There's a whole bunch of confusion going on, but if I tell you, you're gonna get it too, right? Like I told you, all the superhero type things, those are Israelites, and the rest of the world are trying to bully them, especially these demonites are trying to bully them so hard that these superpower beings don't want to have the superpowers no more. They want to be normal. Like also in The Flash, the series also on Netflix, you got Vibe and the other chick, Killer Frost, I think. They wanted to create a meta virus, a meta cure. And meta means higher or beyond. So when they call themselves meta-humans, they calling themselves beyond human or higher human. And that's the Israelites again. And they're trying to, get that thing going so that that virus they're trying to create. But Killer Frost was against it anyway, by the way. But yeah, they're still trying to make it. And the guy took it, by the way, because he wants to have a normal life. He wants to have a wife and actually a girlfriend. And then live normal on the planet Earth. That's actually what our people are doing. The 2/3 of our people, they want to be normal just like the rest. As a matter of fact, they want to look like them. They want to be like them, act like them, walk, talk like them. They want to be them. Just do exactly what they do. That's why they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But anyway, going on. It was the perfect weapon. Well, now your perfect weapon is in the hands of my enemy, and that is exactly what's going on right now. You got the enemy, which is Esau. They have all these weapons that will target only our people, literally only our people. That's why Michael Jackson was scared to go up in the grocery stores to go and buy food, because he said that they're targeting him with diseases. They're gonna poison him because they know his DNA. He been to the hospital before. They took DNA samples and stuff like that. They took it, so they know his whole DNA structure. So in the laboratorium, they could basically check and test if your blood is susceptible for certain type of diseases or stuff like that, or if your blood gets affected, your DNA gets infected from something, while it doesn't really harm the majority of their own race, even though sometimes it backfires, and it will eventually, according to the scriptures. And let me show you right here. Right. So it shows you that CIA is working with Hollywood. So all these things that they put in the movies, those are actual real things. But just because is a thing that makes them say action and action, that makes a lot of people think like, well, this guy's looking at movies for truth. Yes, I am. I've been doing that. See, man, I've been doing, since I was small. I told myself I'm Spider-Man. Not just him, but then actually it was symbiote Spider-Man. It was the other one. Yeah, the not so friendly one. But sometimes he's friendly. Right. Wait a minute here. Wait, let me check this one first. Now, this is a website. I'm gonna put all the links in the description box. Israelites and Edomites: differences in infectious disease mortality in the United States. Scroll down. Now it shows you here, but this shows you also that they're not actually worried about the Asian and the Arab and stuff like that. It's only between us. It's only between Jacob and Esau. That is what they're trying to prove. That is what they're trying to show. It's all about Israelites and Edomites. They are the main starring of this whole world, right? All causes. Now it says here, all infectious diseases. You see here 866.7, here 50, sorry, mortality. Here is 563. These are the Edomites, these are the Israelites. Tuberculosis, here you see 21, here you see 5. So they're targeting us with these type of things. How? Because the Most High said that if you don't do what I tell you to do, then all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. And he showed it right here. That is in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahawah thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. 30. Let me read this one then. Deuteronomy 28 and 58. It says, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, which goes into the dietary law in the book of Leviticus chapter 13. It also goes in there concerning the things that we eat, because you have Asian people in China. They eat squid, they eat rat, they eat all type of shit, man, and they live freaking 100 years, 115 years old. But our people, they start coughing up blood if they start eating. They start coughing up blood at 60 when they eat pork their whole life, man, or some kind of lobster or something like that. Because these are the dietary laws mentioned in Leviticus chapter 13 verse. Was it 13? No, I think it was 11. Yeah, sorry, it was 11. It's Leviticus chapter 11, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. So you can eat those things and stuff like that, right? And it will also tell you the animals that we are not supposed to be eating, by the way. Just read this chapter and yeah. Right, so now you know about that, which are the dietary laws. So it says here, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahawah thy power. Then Yahawah will make thy plagues wonderful. He's going to make it beautiful. It's going to fool you up. It's going to mess you up. And the plagues of thy seed, your children also are going to get cursed by it. Even great plagues. And of long continuance. It's not going to just go out. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to just go out of there. You're going to be stuck with it, man. And sore sicknesses. And of long continuance. Moreover, because if you think about it, you have a lot of Edomites, or even Edomite looking people, when they on crack, they can get off of it much easier than an Israelite can, because we have something that's called melanin. Now, melanin is like a living organism. It's almost like a symbiote from Spider-Man, because it's alive and it thinks and it reacts, and they don't want us to know that, but we know that, because these devils, they make their own tongue fall upon themselves. That's the point. So we know it thinks, we know it lives, because it protects you all. It doesn't just protect you against the ozone layer, those rays that prevent you from getting cancer and stuff like that. It's actually a holy thing to have melanin upon the planet Earth. That's why they're trying to get it so hard. But they're not going to tell you. They're not going to show you, because to them, it's more worth than gold. Melanin more worth than gold. Is this the era of the blessed generation? And they have a book that is, well, he wrote it. Okay, it's a dark-skinned man. But let me show you what the Edomites themselves say. Let me get it here. This is what they themselves say. Melanin, $353 per gram. Palladium or palladium or something like that, $58.33 per gram. Gold, $53 per gram. Platinum, $52 per gram. Coltan, which is that thing, that a stone where you can conduct electricity and stuff like that. That is $1 per gram, 1.2. Silver, 15 cents. Bronze, 0.06729. And here you can see it also. This one, you're more worth to them than gold. And these are facts. These are not just how you call that thing, Photoshop pictures and stuff like that. Because this is, for example, what they're doing. 64,000 black Israelite daughters are currently missing in the U.S. and no one is talking about it. Why? What do you think they're doing with the bodies? They're harnessing you. And this is what they do. Melatonin 2 injections. This is what they're doing. They have injections now. Huh? Where does this come from? They have injections now. Melatonin. And then with the injections, they inject themselves and then they get darker. Why are they doing that? And then you got this female called. This is what they are able to do now. This is what they are able to do with the melanin injection. I got to save this picture for edification. Now you got another one, Martina Big. Before and after. she came on a show, and she said that she is using melatonin 2. So what happened to melatonin 1? Well, it's outdated now. Now they got melatonin 2. And she even says that her hair is changing texture, and her eyes are even getting much darker. And she said a few other things and stuff like that, but I don't remember. I really don't remember that no more. But I know that she went on a TV show and she was making herself darker, and now they're dressing up in African clothing because their plan is to actually take over your shit. That's what they're doing. If you was to look at this and you was to glance at it, you would think, oh, it's too African. No, it's not. This is a full-blown Edomite. A full-blown one. This is what she does. This is how they're doing it. This is their progress. This is her progress. First week, second week, third week, fourth week. And she's basically turning herself. She said she's turning herself into a black woman. She feels more like a black woman. That's what she said. I'm just quoting her. And when you look at her, you be like, that skin color is actually deep. It's not just on the surface. And her eyes is getting browner. You know what I'm saying? Well, it looks like it because it's kind of shiny now. You know, it's not dark brown. It's actually light brown. And she looked like, and back in the day, she had like black eyes. Well, not black, but dark brown eyes. As you can see here. Well, here. Anyway. So this is what they're doing. And they know. They know what the hell they're doing. But you don't. Our people are, Isaiah chapter 1 speaks about it. Our people are, they're asleep, man. They're fucking asleep. They're asleep. They have no idea what's going on. They're worried about the next rapper or the next female dancer or whatever, the next big booty chick to come out in this world. This guy's about to inject himself and make himself darker. You got this Edomite over here making himself darker. This is what they're doing. You have another one here making himself darker. You know? Because they know. But our people don't. Anyway, going on. Now it says here, where was I? Right. Now it says here, then Yahawah will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahawah bring upon thee. AIDS is not written, cancer is not written to a certain degree. But they still came upon our people, until thou be destroyed, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahawah thy power. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord Yahawah rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so will Yahawah will rejoice over you to destroy you, and to bring you to naught, which is nothing. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. That is what's happened. That is what happened to our people. So now I'm gonna let me see. Read this too. Why 7 deadly diseases strike Israelites most? Because first and foremost, you had the Heavenly Father told us he was going fuck us up. He was going to mess us up if we didn't keep the laws, the dietary laws, the laws with each other. You know, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house or car or clothing. And if you do that, you steal, curses will come upon you, man. You know, and you might get sick, you might die, you know, stuff like that at young ages. You know, so first and foremost is this, and second, they are engineering these things. It says we bioengineered the virus to attack non-Kryptonian physiology, whatever that thing, physiology, right? Because you have these type of things. Alarm as Dutch scientists create highly contagious killer flu, and this was in 2011 in Independent Co UK. Why are they making flus? Why are they making highly contagious killer flus? Well, in their eyes, they're making it to do what? Wait, a virus you created? It was a joint partnership between the science and military guilds. And there goes the government again, military. We bioengineered the virus to attack non-Kryptonians' physiology. In the event of an invasion, Medusa would be deployed to kill alien combatants, which is everybody else but Edomites. And you also, I'll put this link in the description box too. You also had an for wait. Right. After long searching, I found it. Now it says UK requests killer flu from China. China ignores UK's request to share deadly flu virus samples. What are they trying to do? I'll read it again. A virus you created? It was a joint partnership between the science and military guilds. We bioengineered the virus to attack non-Edomite psychology. Huh? Physiology. Physiology. In the event of an invasion, Medusa could be deployed to kill non-Edomite combatants while keeping our Edomite civilians and infrastructure safe from harm. Growing up, this is what she said. Growing up, you told me your work was saving lives. I was. Edomite lives. I was saving Edomite lives. It is the perfect weapon. Well, now your perfect weapon is in the hand of my enemies. Basically, that is what they're doing, and these weapons have been in their hands for decades. Decades now. You know what I'm saying? Over 100 years, basically. Because they're the ones that's actually bringing out these diseases and killing our people. You know? So now, I'm going to put this link in the description box, by the way. This is in 2013, and by the way, this one was in 2018. So in 2013, China's creation of deadly superflu could be a justifiable defensive move. And the Supergirl came out in when? I'll show you. And by the way, I'm looking at season 2 now. Release date 2015. So in 2013, they was already busy with doing things for defensive moves, making superflu for defensive moves. In this case, they used it on chickens. But do you think they only use it on animals? You're stupid if you think that. It says here the world of biological warfare is a nasty one. Yeah, we know, because you did that on the Native Americans and the Israelite with the Tuskegee experiment. Tuskegee experiment. The Tuskegee experiment study of untreated syphilis in the Israelite male was a clinical study conducted between 1932 and 1972. So they had a long time to think about what they was doing is good or not. Just the fact that they create, let's say in 1931 is when they created it. They had the time to think like, I don't think we should be testing it on people because they're gonna die. But no, that's not what they are like. They're like murdering you by the United States Public Health Service. It's public health for them. You have to understand that. It's all about them, preserving them, saving them, killing you, us, murdering us, treating us, coming in the disguise of helping us, but they're killing you. The Washington Star News published an article exposing the United States Public Health Service, PHP, for a 40-year experiment conducted at Tuskegee Institute that examined the effects of untreated syphilis in Israelite men. That's because they know that the nation is created by the man. They wasn't targeting the females. They know that they're gonna fuck females, of course, but guess what? They wasn't targeting them because they know they are not the creators of a nation. She doesn't have sperm. She doesn't have boys and girls in her unless this man puts them there. So he's the creator of the bloodline, and they know this. That's why they target the men. And the women of a nation, they're just fuck toys. You just fuck them. That's what they do. That's what they did with our females, and that's what they're doing until this day, right? Right. So it says here, even though most major nations swore off such warfare decades ago, they're swearing is shit. Defending against disease naturally or weaponized may have been China's motivation for developing potentially cataclysmic strains. Cataclysmic strains of influenza. Basically, they're making deadly diseases. So now let me just wrap it up because I'm over 30 minutes. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this one also in the description box. So let me just read on, right? Remove this and this. Yeah, you can read this for yourself, right? They don't talk about this nowhere, and this was since 2011. You know, this the melatonin thing, and you gotta watch out with the numbers because I just pulled over here. I pulled numbers and stuff like that, like bacterial on meningitis. And of course you can see ours is higher, which is this one is Israelite. Well, this one is lower here, but then here is way higher than theirs. It's like almost 100% higher. Here is higher, here is higher, here is higher. Here is almost the same, but it's still higher. Here is higher, here is higher. But like I always say, you gotta watch out with these numbers. But according to the curses that the Heavenly Father would put on us in Deuteronomy 28, we know that this is somewhat true to an effect, but we know that these devils are liars concerning numbers. They're always trying to basically make you look bad as an Israelite. As you can see here, about to give you an example here. It says here from 1960 until basically 2020. It says 2018 here, but now we're in 2020. So it was basically 60 years. Let me see, 40, 60. In 60 years, the population in Suriname, I'm gonna count the middle one, not here, has an. It's kind of funny because in Guyana they say it was 800,000 people, or 500,000 people, and now there's 800,000. Meanwhile, Guyana. Oh, sorry. Actually, I was looking here. Guyana is actually bigger. I was looking here. I was going to say like, meanwhile, Guyana is actually smaller, but no, this is France Guyana. But then anyway, the point is here. 1960, there was like what 280,000. You could just say 300,000, and then 60 years later is basically 600,000. So it only grew 300,000 in 60 years, right? Meanwhile, you have in the Netherlands, you have 1960. It was like 11 million 42, right? 11.42 million. And then 60 years later is basically almost at 18 million. So it grew 6 million people in 60 years. So for every year, 1 million people came in existence here in this land, whether by immigration or rather by just chilling over here. We damn sure know it's not them, because I know that their sperm is weak. Putin. Why Putin is paying women to have more children? They fucking weak, man. They paying them goddamn fucking cave monkeys. They paying them. They ain't making babies like us, man. They ain't making babies like us. Russian women paid to have second child, bringing child home and stuff like that. He was paying them. Women are paid over what, $10,000 to have a second child. 180,000. Wait, what the fuck? 1,800,000 were born in Russia in 2009, which is only 27,000 more than numbers. What? 27,000. Where is it? Okay, which is only 27,000 more than the deaths that year. By the way, they're dying more. They're dying like a motherfucker off of that liquor. A lot of young men. They're dying. A quarter of Russian men die before the age of 55, according to a new study in the Lancet. If this sounds high, it is. In contrast, just 7% of men in UK die before 55. The new large-scale study tracked Russian men over time, finding that much of the high death rate was due to alcohol and alcohol-related causes. These people be drinking all type of shit that has alcohol in it, man. You know? What vodka blamed for high death rates in Russia and stuff like that. Young men are dying of alcoholism in Russia, Far East. Why Russian men don't live long? New York Times. Russian men losing years to vodka. They're dying. So that's why the Putin was like, God damn, we need to control this shit. You pay them and just make babies, man. Women love money. Give them. They love money. They fucking love money, man. They'll do anything. Just pay the females. And then they had a lot of babies. Just pay them. So you gotta watch out with the numbers concerning ours and compared to theirs. But when they're doing numbers on their own, yeah, it's still not 100% accurate, because we know that. Because you can't just, they don't have the manpower to count everybody, man. You know, they don't have the type of money. They don't want to spend that type of money, and they don't actually really have it to spare. That's why when they do polls, you know, the news polls and stuff like that, 10% of the population says no, 80% says yes, and another 10% is undecided. Well, how the fuck you know that? You never asked me. You never asked me, and you include me in there? No, you don't. No, you don't. You're just guessing. They probably asked like 1,000 people, because they haven't got any manpower to pay the people that are asking the questions. They probably asked 1,000 people to do a test, and then from the 1,000 they start guessing. That's the Edomite thing. They guess, make them sound smart, but they're not. Right, so let me wrap it up now. It says here, and he's making diseases for us, but this is what the Heavenly Father will do. Psalms 9 and 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they have made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. They're gonna die by their own wickedness, their own traps. For example, their own nuclear bombs. They're gonna die by it. They're gonna die by their own sicknesses that they create. Yahawah is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higayon. I forgot what this means, but you could look it up. Wait, let me see. Meaning, yeah, it's in the definitions here. What's it again? You could look it up in the Blue Letter Bible, man. And let me do that. I think it was here. And it means Hebrew 1902. It means basically it's that was what it was. It's a beautiful sound. Basically, it's like yes, That beautiful sound. It's a beautiful thing to hear that the wicked is snared in the work of his own hand. Music, please. Bop. That's what they get, man. You know what I'm saying? There's music to my ears. You know, it's beautiful. You know, Salah. Let it be so. Be sure. Now, that is Psalms 9, and then you have Psalms 10, verse 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Right. Let them die off of their own things. They wish to exterminate us, but the Heavenly Father is going to exterminate them. They wish to enslave us again with the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Control your whole life and everything you do. The Heavenly Father is going to control their asses and sell their asses into slavery and brand them. That's what we're waiting for. Yahawah Wa we at that door. He's at the door about to come in. Now you have these diseases that Israelites have: diabetes and asthma and lung and sarcoidosis and stuff like that. Tobacco. Despite lower tobacco exposure, Israelite men are 50% more likely than devils to get lung cancer. But you got to understand, they create these environments for us to actually die by these diseases. And you got to also understand, watch out with their numbering when it's compare. Because why do you see a lot of sites that actually compare us to them? Because they know the war is between us only. These other nations, they're just sidekicks. They're just sidekicks. I'll put all these links in the description box if you want to check it out for yourself. So when a sickle cell is also one of the things that they basically know that is targeting us as Israelites, because they know our DNA, so they know how to create diseases that are actually combatant or something. Basically, it attacks us, because that is what the disease is created for. They have our DNA. You know, they have our DNA. Basically, our hands are in these devils, their hands. Basically, our lives are in these devils, their hands. And that's also mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy 28, when it says, "Thou shalt be the tail, and they shall be the head." Right. And we know these things are true concerning these movies and stuff like that. Well, I just showed you here with the CIA has a hand in television, movies, and music and stuff like that, games. So now you have this over here, which is Agents of Shield. I don't remember which season it is. I think it's season 2 or something, season 2 or 3, or one of those 3. You can check it out for yourself. But this is the point. Every year, this part of our jobs gets easier. How? As you can see, they're agents of Shield. So they're agents. They're deep in the government and stuff like that. And this is what this guy said. Why did he say that? First and foremost, he said, it's amazing. You know, he uses the telephone with the things and stuff like that. Every year, this part of our job gets easier. What part? Between Facebook, Instagram, and Flickr, people are surveilling themselves with many filters to choose from. They're snitching themselves. They put all their information online. And you know how we know? Because they're being sued. Now it says here Dutch. Well, it actually says judge gives $5 billion fine for privacy. I don't know what you call it in English, but they messed up the privacy thing on Facebook. Good. But it says here this is 25 April 2020. And I have the English version here. Dutch Consumers Association demands compensation from Facebook for privacy violations. July 2020. And this was in what, April? That was 5 billion, by the way. 4.5 billion. Multiple fines for violating privacy. Facebook has received several fines for breaching the privacy of users. For example, the company received a hefty fine of 4.5 billion from the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, given for privacy violations after the revelations about Cambridge Analytica, right? Something like that. Beyond that, data from 87 million users were used for political ads during the US election of 2016. Now it says here, Gerard or Gerard Spielenberg, this is Mushelberg, spokesperson for the association, has said that it is very important that consumers register. There are 10 million people on Facebook in the Netherlands, so that can become very sustainable. What? Substantial, sorry. Anyway, they have to pay $5 billion to the people in Holland. I saw this on the news today, by the way. Let me see, what is this? 30,000 people have joined breaching the Dutch privacy law. Around 30,000 people have joined a mass claim against Facebook for allegedly breaching Dutch privacy laws. If I had Facebook, I would just jump in there too, man, trying to get some money. Nah, I'm just playing. But anyway, yeah, fucking money. Now it says here basically they gotta pay $5 billion. So I think I'm done. Right. They create viruses and stuff like that. And I think this one is it. Yeah, here. So again, to over here, 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right, all these tricks that they have up their sleeves. We're not ignorant to it, man. You got to know about it. That's why we're telling you. Sound the alarm. Warn my people. Warn the sheep that the wolf is coming. That's John chapter 10. That's what we're doing. We're warning you. Ezekiel 3 and John 10. Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth, and give them warning from me. That's it. You can read the rest for yourself. Now it's John chapter 10 verse this is Yahawashi. But Yahawashi sent his men. Okay, so keep that in mind. Yahawashi said, John chapter 10 and 9, I am the door. By me if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out, and find pasture. What is pasture? Pasture is grass. Why? Because we're sheep. Sheep eat grass. We are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Lord willing, we're found now. Right. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. Where's the Tuskegee experiment? I think I clicked it away. Well, open it again then. This is what he's doing. He comes to kill, rape, rob, murder. That's his MO. He been doing this for decades. So don't get it twisted like, oh, they coming to help you. You idiot. You're gonna die with them. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly, because we ain't got shit. We don't even have our own houses, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't even stand, you can't even spread your hands like like an eagle. You can't even spread your hands in the toilet, man. You know, stretch out your hands. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. But he that is an hireling, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep. That's why Yahawashi said, be as wise as a serpent, and harmless as a wolf. I sent thee in the midst of wolves and scorpions. Wise as a serpent? Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I, Yahawashi, send you, the disciples, the ones that follow Yahawashi, that turned out to be the apostles, and of course the other disciples and the Lord, the men of the Lord. But there was only 12 apostles, but there were more than 70 disciples, you know. So yeah, behold, I sent you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Those are the nations. Those are the other nations. They're beasts. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Right. The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling. He's just there for the money. And careth not for the sheep. He doesn't give a hootenanny about you. I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine. So they know Yahawashi. And everybody that is of Yahawashi, they will know you too. Okay? Now you can read the rest for yourself, right? Verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father, which gave them me, is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one, meaning they have the same mindset, because it shows you right here that Amos chapter 3. Can two walk together except they agreed? They be agreed? No, they can't. You can't be a junkie and then walk around with a fitness freak. You're not going to be friends. He might know you from the old school, like you went to school to it with each other, but he's not actually going to stick around you, especially when you smoking that 7-Up and bubbling up like 7-Up. But it's not and going up and up and up and up and up. It's not going to happen like that. You know, he's not your friend. He knows you, but he's not your friend. And let me see. Yahawashi prayed 3 times. Where was it? 17? No. Matthew 26. Right, that it shows you here that check this out. Matthew 26 and 34. Then you will see that there are 2 different people. Yahawashi said unto him, verily I say unto you, that this night before the cock crow. Wait, no, that's not it. Wait a minute. Then cometh Yahawashi, 36. Then cometh Yahawashi with them unto a place called Gethsemane. Now Gethsemane, if I'm correct, is the, let me see. Hey shit, the blue letter Bible. Okay. Sorry, it was Greek 10 and 68. An oil press. And what is the name of a place at the foot of the Mount of Olives? An oil press. And who's the one represented in oil? The word anointed. The word anointed, let me get that. The word anointed goes into being, well, let me show you. Definition of anointed. Smear or rub with oil. So what they were doing is they were squeezing the life out of Yahawashi, and that's what Yahawashi is going to do to them when he comes back upon the planet Earth, and he's going to squeeze the fucking blood out of you Edomites. It's going to be fun. Very fun. 63. Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, which is the capital of Esau, which shows you that he's going to come and go to Esau's capital, and everywhere that Edomites dwell, there he is going to go. This that is glorious in his apparel, which is Yahawashi, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speaketh in righteousness, mighty to save. That's only Yahawashi, right? Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? Because back in the days, how did you tread in the wine fat? Ancient. Sorry, ancient here. Ancient wine presser. Let me get the other one. Wait, an ancient wine press. Wine pressing. Oh yeah. Israel. I should have put Israel. This is a hole, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna step in it. You're gonna step in it. Let me see, Israel. Making wine, ancient making. Yeah, whatever. Making wine in ancient times. This is how you made wine. You step on it, and there is a little thing here, and then the water comes out of it, right? This is how you make wine back in the ancient days. And then they put a hole here. Maybe it's this here. I don't know. They put a hole here, and then all the wine juices just steps out of it. It's kind of fucked up because, you know, this guy has like Edomite feet and he touching that shit. I would never drink that. Ha! I would not drink that. Fuck out of here. I'm not drinking that shit. But that's how they made wine. Nowadays they got the I call that thing. I wanted to say computers, but I mean machines. But computers control the machines, so yeah. But it's the machines that do it nowadays. Yeah, look at the hole here, and then he keeps on stepping on it, and then the juice come out. Right, so is that he would look like somebody that just stepped on some wine, grapes, and then your clothes would be all red, you know? I have trodden the wine press alone, which I just showed you what a wine press is. And of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. The blood of who? The Edomites, man. And I will stain all my raiment, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. And I looked, and there was none to help. Nobody helped Yahawashi. Well, not in the degree of saving him, because the Lord did say, like, I sent you out to go and where was it again? Joshua, was it Joshua? Damn it, this escaped me. Wait, yeah, I send you in the midst of wolves and stuff like that. Go help my people. But there's another one. Where is it? No, it wasn't Joshua 6. Nah, it can't be 6. Nah. I sent you in the midst of wolves. So that's one. But then going on. But wait, there is a wait. I can't find it right now. If it comes to me, I'll put it in the comment section or something. But it says, and I wondered that there were none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth. This is what Yahawashi will do. This is what Yahawashi will do to the Edomites, man. He's gonna squeeze the blood out of them, just like how they did that with him in the valley, of the place called Gethsemane. Gethsemane. How you pronounce that? Oil press, right? But anyway, he didn't die there, by the way. He died at the place of skulls, if I'm correct. Right, but he's still gonna press you like like wine. He's still gonna squeeze the blood out of you. out of you Edomites. So, and also you wicked Israelites. His sword is gonna be bathed in the fat of goats and lambs, right? And say it unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. Like I said, I know I basically jumped the gun because I was talking about the Valley of Skulls. Sorry. So I said two things in one. Sorry about that. Right now, and it says here, and say it unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and two of the sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here, which means wait, and watch with me. And he went a little farther, right, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. So he was praying to the Heavenly Father. This shows you that he is not the same, because he's asking, like, I don't want to do this, but if you want it, you know what I'm saying? We can do this another way. Verse 42. He went again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. And for verse 44, and he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. So he was praying 3 times to the Heavenly Father, like, can't we do this another way? That cross thing, I think it's kind of painful, you know. He knows, because he can see the future. But still, he had to do it because the Lord didn't say anything. He just kept his mouth shut. He kept quiet. Sorry, not mouth shut. Sorry about that. He just kept this. He just didn't talk to him. You know, he didn't talk to him, and then he had to do what he told him to go and do up on the planet Earth. You know, so yeah, man, there you have it. They're not the same. So when it says I and my Father are one, it doesn't mean what the people say, that he is the Father up on the planet Earth. Because who is he praying to? He's praying to the Father. He's the Son of the Father. So I think I'm done with that. So I'm going to leave all the links in the description box so you can check those pages out for yourself. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom.